Hi guys, I was looking for an eyeshadow palette for older women. Actually, I'm 65. And I found the Goss, the luxury eye palette in Imperial Topaz. Is this the eyeshadow I was looking for? Well, spoiler alert, yes it is. If you want to find out more about this palette and how I got this eye look, stick around. I'm Cindy. I do videos about makeup, skincare, and curly hair. If you're a subscriber, you may have noticed that I changed my name to Older But Better Beauty. If you are new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting that bell to be notified when new videos get posted. And let's get started right now. Why was I so interested in Goss? Who is he in the first place? Goss is a really well-known YouTuber. He's got almost 4 million subscribers and he's a really well-known makeup artist. He's got amazing tutorials on the internet. He's got a line of other makeup products that are on Beautylish, such as lipsticks and brushes. When this came out, I thought, let me check it out. And when I found out that he tested this on women in their 40s and 50s and in their 60s, I was really intrigued because who cares about women in their 60s? Not too many people in the beauty world. So that's what really got me interested in looking at this palette in more detail. Let's take a look at the palette. First of all, here's the packaging. It's nice, shiny, sleek. Yeah, you do get fingerprints, but nah, I don't really care. But look at these colors. These were totally up my alley. The colors don't have names. They just have numbers. This one is a light champagne. This one is a taupe color. I think it's called honey. Black. I had my reservations about that one, but we'll come back to that later. Copper color. This is a light brown, and this is a celestial champagne, a real shimmer color. There are 2 mattes in this palette. This brown is a matte, the black is a matte. There are 3 shimmer shades. This is a shimmer, this is a shimmer, and this is a shimmer, and there's 1 celestial shade. Actually, he doesn't really call them shimmers, he calls them satin. Palette is primarily warm, although this color is kind of coolish, but the combination is just beautiful. I've got to admit to you, I was most worried about the black. I was thinking, how am I going to use this black? But I'm going to show you later in the demo how I have used the black, and I have it on my eyes right now. Wayne suggests using it as an eyeliner or deepening colors or just using it as an emphasis color. I may not use this much black. It is a color that I've learned to use and really appreciate. Some people think that it's a boring palette because it's a very basic look, but I'm all in for boring palettes. I've been using it for about a month and I have been reaching for it virtually every day, which tells you something. It is extremely versatile and very creamy. It blends beautifully on the mature eye. I often get, especially with matte colors, a lot of skipping, like right around here. And I've had no skipping. And I think the combination of the very beautiful satin shades, the blendability of the colors, and the celestial color is a beautiful combination. So these pan sizes are huge, huge. And he did that deliberately. One of the reasons he did it was so that you could fit virtually any brush into one of the pans. You don't have to use a smaller brush. But honestly, I could stick my entire nose into this pan and it would fit. I don't know if I need pan sizes quite this large. one of the things that was a con for me was that it was $55, which to me is a lot of money, and I generally don't spend that much money on an eyeshadow palette. I really had to think that I was going to use it all the time. I did some comparison between this shadow and some other shadows in terms of value. You get 16.9 grams of product, which is quite a lot, $3.25 a gram. I compared that to a couple of, you know, kind of pricey brands like the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which I've been eyeing very seriously. It's so beautiful. That's $65, and that goes for about $3.33 a gram. All right. And I also compared it to the Urban Decay palettes, just their naked palettes in general. They're $49 for the most part. They vary a little bit. They're usually about 15.9 grams, and they go for $3.08. So they're very comparable. And the one that really blew me away, I don't have one, but the Charlotte Tilbury quads, they're $53. They are 5 grams, and it's basically $9.09 a gram. It gives you a little bit of a comparison. So basically, it's not a bargain, but it does compare to not your ultra luxury, but your upper level nice brand palettes. I also got one of his kohl pencils. Now, it looks really teeny. It didn't start out to look like this, and I have sharpened it a lot. It's a wood pencil. Kohl generally implies that it's a soft pencil. It's more waxy. I bought this pencil in the color Imperial Opal, which is kind of a bronzy brown, basically my favorite color. It also came in black and a brown black. You can see I kind of went through it quickly for having it maybe 3-4 weeks. It's not great for your upper waterline. It's going to transfer. But as you're going to see later, I used it today for my lower waterline, and it stays really well. So it's super creamy. It blends really well, and it's $14. I'm going to show you the swatches for the eye palette and take you right into the demonstration. Here's the champagne, here's the bronze, the black, the rust, the warm brown, and right over here is the sparkling champagne. Okay, I'm going to start with the matte color, which is the warm brown. And I'm going to go into my crease and my outer V with this color. And I'm going to use a very light hand because they're pretty pigmented. You can see I'm barely touching. Well, that was barely touching, so get a little bit more pigment. I'm starting with the outer corner, going into the crease with very soft movements, bringing it down. That might be enough. It's buildable, as you could see, because I went in a little too lightly in the first place. That was, by the way, a Sigma E40 brush, which is a pretty fluffy brush. Then I'm going to go into my favorite color, which is the soft bronze, the taupey color. And I'm going to go all over the lid. This is a satin color, barely shimmery. I wouldn't even know if I'd call it shimmer. It's slightly shimmery. This is why this is so good for the mature eye, because it's not like in your face. It's very easy to apply, and it's a cool color. So you have warm against cool, and it's just very sophisticated. Now I'm going to go into the color I was the most afraid of, and that is the black. I'm going to show you a technique that I learned from Goss. and that is applying black eyeliner as a push liner. We're going to simply push it as close to the lash line as you can possibly get. And I'm just going to kind of wiggle it, push it, wiggle it, and in a second, you're going to see the difference between the two eyes. It's going to make your lashes look so much thicker, even without mascara. Look at the difference. Do a little bit more. So there is your eyeliner. Because my eyes are very downturned, I'm going to add a little wing to make them look even more uplifted. Wayne has a brush which he uses for push liner, but it's sold out. And so what I'm using is a Dior brush. I'll have it listed down in the description box, but here's what it looks like. And so this is a great shape for a push brush. Look how much more open this eye is, and you don't have a lot of real estate used up by a thick liner. I'm going to do the other eye. Okay, you could be done for an everyday look. It's simple. It highlights your eyes. I'm going to blend out the colors just a little bit more using a blending brush. I think this is a Sephora brush. These colors just blend beautifully together. I think what I'm going to do is show you how to amp this look up just a little bit more using some more of the colors. The champagne color in the inner corner of my eye, and just use a little bit more pop of light. I'm going to put that right in the corner. Again, it is a satin color. Do that with both eyes. Not covering the entire lid. See how it adds a little bit more life to the eye? I'm going to add a little bit more at the very inner corner of my eye. Not too much. There's not too much sparkle. It's just going to give me a little bit more openness when you see my eyes. And the last thing I'm going to do to really give my eyes a little bit more pop is to use that copper color in the outer V. That's going to add a little bit more warmth. I'm also bringing it up, again, because my eyes are downturned. A little bit more color. You're making it a little bit more dramatic. It's not extreme, and I'm going to blend it. They're so creamy and blendable. I'm going to use just, again, there's nothing on this brush. This is a Sephora blending brush. Blending it together, and that is the look. Oops, I almost forgot to add some shadow below my eye. Actually, I think I'm going to use this Morphe pencil brush, and I'm going to hook it up with the upturned wing, and I'm going to use that soft brown matte color and have it meet up. I don't want a harsh line. It's going to be a very soft line. Oh, and one more thing. Let's add the celestial color. And for that, you can use your finger. If you want it softer, you can use a brush, like a very soft brush. The one that I showed you, the Morphe M562, is a good choice, but you can use your finger, and I'm only going to use it to pop it on at the very center of my eye. Not a ton. Gives you a little bit of lightness. I don't think this is too much to you. When you close your eyes, when you blink, you'll see a little bit of shimmer. For me, this is all the shimmer that I want. Maybe I'll add a little bit, tiny bit more, because it is buildable. But this is the amped up look. Okay, this is the final look. I should also tell you that I lined my inner waterline with the pencil, which is in Precious Opal, the shimmery brown. I think I might amp it up a tiny bit more by adding a little bit of that pencil to my lower lash line just to give it a little bit more uplift because I need as much help as I possibly can get. I'm going to use my finger even to blend it. It's extremely blendable. This is it, and I think it's really great. And I do reach for this every day. I love it. Pros and the cons of this palette. Let's start with the cons. First of all, the cost. It is kind of pricey for 6 colors. I would not have minded at all if it was smaller. It would have been cheaper, and I cannot think of the last time I hit pan on an eyeshadow palette. Maybe never? The black color too, although I appreciate having it, it really doesn't need to be that big for how I'm using it. So that's the one in particular that I think could have been smaller, and maybe we could have added like a nice rich brown. That would have been beautiful. But I love the colors that are in this palette, and they really are everyday usable colors. It's creamy, it's blendable, it's great for the mature eye, and I think it would look great on any color eye. I think it's extremely flattering. Yes, for older women, for older eyes, not patchy, not too shimmery. The satins are just beautiful. It's a palette that can be worn by older women, and the fact that he tested it on women in their 60s is just perfection. I feel so honored that he decided to do that. Wayne Goss, thank you so much. And 2 thumbs up. I love it. What are your thoughts on the palette? Do you think this is something you might want to buy? Are there other neutral palettes that you really love in your collection? Please share your comments below. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch. On your way out, if you can hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe, I would appreciate that so much. And I'll see you next time in my next video. Take care. Bye-bye.